A solid grasp of real estate vocabulary is essential for passing your licensing exam, and this updated review will help you get there. In this video, we'll cover key real estate terms, core concepts and definitions, and the industry language that you're likely to see on the exam. And don't miss what's happening in the bottom corner. It's designed to supercharge your exam prep. We'll explain more in just a minute. Let's dive in and get started.
Let's begin with a review of real property and ownership terms. Which of the following best defines easement? Is it A, a temporary right to use another's land, B, ownership of a portion of another's land, C, a non-possessory right to use another's land for a specific purpose, or D, a lease agreement for land use? The answer is C, a non-possessory right to use another's land for a specific purpose. Easements often get confused with licenses or leases. An easement is a non-possessory right to use another's land for a specific purpose. A homeowner grants a neighbor the right to cross their property to access the main road. What term describes this arrangement? Is it A, lease, B, easement, C, license, or D, encroachment? The answer is B, easement. It might be confused with a license. An easement is a legal right to use another's land for a specific purpose, like access. What does fee simple absolute mean? Is it A, the most complete ownership interest possible without conditions, B, ownership that lasts as long as a condition is met, C, a temporary ownership interest, or D, ownership that reverts to the grantor upon death? The answer is A, the most complete ownership interest possible without conditions. It can be confused with other fee simple estates. Fee simple absolute is the most complete ownership interest possible.
Have you noticed the code in the bottom corner? Next time you're stumped, take that code to birdsy.ai for immediate help and a free study session with Birdsy, your personal AI study partner. Plus, you'll get access to hundreds of additional questions, helping you move closer to passing your exam with confidence. The next time you're feeling unsure or stuck, give it a try.
A property owner sells their land but retains the right to extract minerals from it. What term describes the retained right? Is it A, lease, B, easement, C, license, or D, mineral right? The answer is D, mineral right. It might be confused with a lease. A mineral right allows the owner to extract minerals despite selling the land. Which of the following best defines joint tenancy? Is it A, ownership by multiple parties without survivorship rights, B, co-ownership with equal shares and survivorship rights, C, a temporary co-ownership arrangement, or D, ownership by a single individual? The answer is B, co-ownership with equal shares and survivorship rights. It can be confused with tenancy in common. Joint tenancy includes the right of survivorship, unlike tenancy in common. Which of the following best defines easement? Is it A, a full ownership right over a property, B, a non-possessory right to use another's land for a specific purpose, C, a temporary lease agreement, or D, a right to exclude others from a property? The answer is B, a non-possessory right to use another's land for a specific purpose. Easements can be confused with ownership rights. An easement is a non-possessory right to use another's land for a specific purpose. A homeowner allows a neighbor to use a path through their yard to access the street. What term best describes this arrangement? Is it A, lease, B, license, C, easement, or D, covenant? The answer is C, easement. It might seem like a casual agreement, This is an example of an easement, a legal right to use another's land. What does fee simple mean? Is it A, a most complete form of ownership with no limitations on inheritance? B, a temporary right to use property? C, ownership limited to the lifetime of the owner? Or D, a shared ownership with specific conditions? The answer is A, the most complete form of ownership with no limitations on inheritance. Fee simple can be confused with other ownership types. It is the most complete form of ownership with no limitations on inheritance. A property owner sells their land but retains the right to extract minerals. What term describes this retained right? Is it A, leasehold, B, easement, C, covenant, or D, mineral right? The answer is D, mineral right. It involves separating surface and subsurface rights. This is a mineral right, allowing extraction of minerals. Which of the following best defines joint tenancy? Is it A, ownership by one individual with full rights? B, a temporary arrangement for shared use? C, co-ownership with the right of survivorship? Or D, ownership divided by percentage shares? The answer is C, co-ownership with the right of survivorship. Joint tenancy involves specific rights. It includes the right of survivorship, meaning ownership passes to co-owners upon death. Contracts and agency. Which of the following best defines consideration in contract law? Is it A, a mutual agreement between parties? B, a legal obligation to perform a duty? C, something of value exchanged between parties? Or D, a promise to enter into a future contract? The answer is C, something of value exchanged between parties. Consideration is often confused with other contract elements. It refers to something of value exchanged between parties, which is essential for a contract's validity. In a contract negotiation, Alice offers to sell her car to Bob for $5,000. Bob accepts the offer. What role does acceptance play in this scenario? Is it A, it is the initial proposal made by Alice? B, it is Bob's unqualified agreement to Alice's offer? C, it is the negotiation of terms between Alice and Bob? Or D, it is the consideration exchanged between Alice and Bob? The answer is B, it is Bob's unqualified agreement to Alice's offer. Acceptance can be confused with agreement. It is the unqualified agreement to the terms of an offer, creating a binding contract. What does agency mean in the context of contracts? Is it A, a relationship where one party acts on behalf of another? B, a contract between two independent parties? C, a legal obligation to perform a specific task? Or D, a mutual agreement to exchange goods? The answer is A, a relationship where one party acts on behalf of another. Agency is often confused with employment. It refers to a relationship where one party acts on behalf of another. Tom hires Sarah to negotiate a deal on his behalf. What is Sarah's role in this agency relationship? Is it A, Sarah is the principal in the relationship? B, Sarah is a third-party beneficiary? C, Sarah is an independent contractor? Or D, Sarah is the agent acting on Tom's behalf? The answer is D, Sarah is the agent acting on Tom's behalf. The roles in agency can be confused. Sarah acts as an agent representing Tom in negotiations. Which of the following best defines breach of contract? Is it A, a mutual agreement to terminate a contract? B, the failure to perform any term of a contract without a legitimate legal excuse? C, the negotiation of new terms within a contract? Or D, the completion of all contractual obligations? The answer is B, the failure to perform any term of a contract without a legitimate legal excuse. Breach of contract is often confused with non-performance. It specifically refers to the failure to fulfill contractual obligations. Which of the following best defines consideration in contract law? Is it A, a mutual promise to perform an act, B, something of value exchanged between parties, C, a written contract between two parties, or D, the intention to create legal relations? The answer is B, something of value exchanged between parties. Consideration is often confused with other contract elements. It refers to the value exchanged between parties, not just any promise or agreement. In a contract, if one party is a minor, the contract is often considered voidable. What does this mean in this context? Is it A, the contract is automatically null and void, B, the contract is enforceable by both parties, C, the contract can be canceled by the minor, or D, the contract is valid only if ratified by a court? The answer is C, the contract can be canceled by the minor. Voidable can be confused with void. It means the contract is valid unless the minor chooses to void it. What does agency mean in the context of business law? Is it A, a relationship where one party acts on behalf of another, B, a business partnership between two entities, C, an employment contract between an employer and employee, or D, a legal agreement to share profits and losses? The answer is A, a relationship where one party acts on behalf of another. Agency involves representation, which can be confused with employment or partnership. It specifically refers to acting on behalf of another. If an agent acts outside the scope of their authority, the principal may not be bound by the agent's actions. What is this limitation called? Is it A, express authority, B, implied authority, C, apparent authority, or D, ultra vires? The answer is D, ultra vires. The limitation is often confused with general authority. It's specifically about actions beyond granted authority. Which of the following best defines breach of contract? Is it A, a mutual agreement to terminate a contract, B, a delay in performing contractual duties, C, failure to perform any term of a contract, or D, modification of contract terms without consent? The answer is C, failure to perform any term of a contract. Breach of contract is often confused with incomplete performance. It specifically refers to failure to fulfill contractual obligations.
If you're finding this helpful, please take a minute to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, useful tips, and complimentary study sessions with Birdsy.
Finance and lending. During a financial review, a company discovers it has a high debt-to-equity ratio. What does this indicate about the company's financial structure? Is it A, the company has more assets than liabilities, B, the company relies heavily on borrowed funds compared to its equity, C, the company has a high level of liquidity, or D, the company is generating high profits? The answer is B, the company relies heavily on borrowed funds compared to its equity. The term debt-to-equity ratio might be confused with other financial ratios. It specifically measures a company's financial leverage by comparing its total liabilities to shareholders' equity. Which of the following best defines amortization? Is it A, the process of increasing the value of an asset over time, B, the immediate repayment of a loan in full, C, the gradual repayment of a loan or the spreading of an intangible asset's cost, or D, the reduction of a tangible asset's value over time? The answer is C, The gradual repayment of a loan or the spreading of an intangible asset's cost. Amortization can be confused with depreciation. Amortization specifically refers to the gradual repayment of a loan over time or the spreading of an intangible asset's cost. A borrower is considering a loan with a fixed interest rate. How does this type of interest rate affect their payments over time? Is it A, the borrower's payments remain constant over the loan term? B, the borrower's payments fluctuate with market interest rates? C, the borrower's payments decrease over time? Or D, the borrower's payments increase as the loan balance decreases? The answer is A, the borrower's payments remain constant over the loan term. Fixed interest rates can be confused with variable rates. A fixed rate remains constant throughout the loan term, providing predictable payments. What does collateral mean in the context of lending? Is it A, a type of loan with no interest? B, a guarantee provided by a third party? C, a financial penalty for late payments? Or D, an asset pledged to secure a loan? The answer is D, an asset pledged to secure a loan. Collateral is often confused with other forms of security. It specifically refers to an asset pledged to secure a loan, which can be seized if the borrower defaults. A bank offers a mortgage with a balloon payment. What should a borrower expect at the end of the loan term? Is it A, the loan will be fully paid off with regular payments? B, the interest rate will reset to a new level? C, a large final payment will be due? Or D, the borrower will receive a refund for overpaid interest? The answer is C, a large final payment will be due. Balloon payments can be confused with regular loan payments. They involve a large final payment after smaller periodic payments. Which of the following best defines amortization? Is it A, the process of increasing the value of an asset over time? B, the gradual repayment of a loan over time through scheduled payments? C, the immediate repayment of a loan in full? Or D, the reduction in value of an asset over time? The answer is B, the gradual repayment of a loan over time through scheduled payments. Amortization can be confused with depreciation. Amortization refers to spreading payments over time, while depreciation is about asset value reduction. A company is considering a loan with a balloon payment at the end. What does this mean for their repayment plan? Is it A, the company will make equal payments throughout the loan term? B, the company will pay off the loan in one large initial payment? C, the company will make smaller periodic payments with a large final payment? Or D, the company will have no payments until the end of the loan term? The answer is C, the company will make smaller periodic payments with a large final payment. Balloon payments can be confused with regular installments. A balloon payment is a large final payment after smaller periodic payments. What does collateral mean in the context of lending? Is it A, an asset pledged by a borrower to secure a loan? B, a promise by a third party to repay a loan if the borrower defaults? C, the interest charged on a loan? Or D, a loan with no interest charged? The answer is A, an asset pledged by a borrower to secure a loan. Collateral can be confused with guarantees. Collateral is an asset pledged for a loan, while a guarantee is a promise to pay. If a borrower defaults on a loan, the lender might use foreclosure to recover their funds. What does this process involve? Is it A, the lender forgiving the remaining debt? B, a lender taking over the borrower's business operations? C, the lender seizing and selling the borrower's personal assets? Or D, the lender selling the property used as collateral to recover the loan amount? The answer is D, the lender selling the property used as collateral to recover the loan amount. Foreclosure can be confused with repossession. Foreclosure involves selling the property to recover the loan amount. Which of the following best defines interest rate? Is it A, the total amount borrowed in a loan? B, the fee charged for late payment of a loan? C, the percentage charged by a lender for the use of borrowed money? Or D, the total repayment amount over the life of a loan? The answer is C, the percentage charged by a lender for the use of borrowed money. Interest rate can be confused with loan principal. Interest rate is the cost of borrowing, not the loan amount itself. Valuation and market analysis. During a property appraisal, the appraiser uses the term highest and best use to determine the most profitable use of a property. What does this term imply in this context? Is it A, the current use of the property as it stands? B, the most profitable use that is legally permissible, physically possible, and financially feasible? C, the use that requires the least amount of investment? Or D, the use that aligns with the owner's personal preferences? The answer is B, the most profitable use that is legally permissible, physically possible, and financially feasible. The term involves economic feasibility and legal permissibility. It refers to the most profitable use of a property that is legally permissible, physically possible, and financially feasible. Which of the following best defines market value? Is it A, the price a buyer is willing to pay regardless of market conditions? B, the assessed value for tax purposes? C, the most probable price a property should bring in a competitive and open market? Or D, the replacement cost of the property? The answer is C, the most probable price a property should bring in a competitive and open market. Market value is often confused with other value types. It is the most probable price a property should bring in a competitive and open market under fair sale conditions. An investor is considering purchasing a property and asks about the cap rate. How does this term help in evaluating the investment? Is it A, it helps evaluate the potential return by comparing net operating income to the purchase price? B, it determines the future appreciation potential of the property? C, it assesses the tax implications of the property purchase? Or D, it measures the total cost of ownership over time? The answer is A, it helps evaluate the potential return by comparing net operating income to the purchase price. Cap rate is a specific metric. It helps investors evaluate the potential return on an investment by comparing the net operating income to the purchase price. What does comparative market analysis mean? Is it A, an analysis of the property's historical price trends? B, a detailed inspection of the property's physical condition? C, a financial assessment of the property's income potential? Or D, an analysis of recently sold properties similar to the subject property to determine its market value? The answer is D, an analysis of recently sold properties similar to the subject property to determine its market value. It involves comparing similar properties. It is an analysis of recently sold properties similar to the subject property to determine its market value. A homeowner is curious about the cost approach used in their property's appraisal. How does this method determine value? Is it A, by comparing the property to similar recently sold properties? B, by analyzing the income potential of the property? C, by summing the land value and the depreciated cost of improvements? Or D, by evaluating the replacement cost of the property? The answer is C, by summing the land value and the depreciated cost of improvements. The cost approach involves specific calculations. It estimates the value by summing the land value and the depreciated cost of improvements. Which of the following best defines market value? Is it A, the highest price a property can fetch in any market condition? B. The most probable price a property should bring in a competitive and open market. C. The price a property owner desires to sell their property for. Or D. The average price of similar properties in the area. The answer is B. The most probable price a property should bring in a competitive and open market. Market value is often confused with other valuation types. It specifically refers to the most probable price a property should bring in a competitive and open market. A real estate agent is evaluating a property and needs to determine its highest and best use. What should the agent consider? Is it A, the use that is legally permissible, physically possible, financially feasible, and maximally productive? B, the use that generates the highest immediate profit? C, the use that aligns with the current owner's preferences? Or D, the use that is most popular in the neighborhood? The answer is A, the use that is legally permissible, physically possible, financially feasible, and maximally productive. Highest and best use involves multiple factors. It is the use that is legally permissible, physically possible, financially feasible, and maximally productive. What does comparative market analysis mean? Is it A, a formal appraisal conducted by a licensed appraiser? B, a method to determine the highest price a property can sell for? C, an evaluation of similar properties to estimate a property's value? Or D, a legal document required for property sales? The answer is C, an evaluation of similar properties to estimate a property's value. CMA is often confused with formal appraisals. It involves evaluating similar properties to estimate a property's value. During a property appraisal, the appraiser uses the cost approach. What is the appraiser likely considering? Is it A, the income potential of the property? B, the recent sales prices of similar properties? C, the market trends affecting property value? Or D, the cost to replace the property minus depreciation? The answer is D, the cost to replace the property minus depreciation. The cost approach is often confused with other methods. It involves estimating the cost to replace the property minus depreciation. Which of the following best defines functional obsolescence? Is it A, a reduction in property value due to outdated features? B, a decrease in property value due to external factors? C, the physical wear and tear of a property over time? Or D, an increase in property value due to modern upgrades? The answer is A, a reduction in property value due to outdated features. Functional obsolescence is often confused with physical deterioration. It refers to a reduction in property value due to outdated features.
Stuck on a question? Just think of the Birdsy link in the description as your friendly neighborhood superhero, swooping in to save the day with answers. Feel free to explore it now and return to continue. Simply hit pause, and we'll be waiting when you get back.
Land use and legal descriptions. Which of the following best defines easement? Is it A, full ownership of a property? B, a non-possessory right to use another's land for a specific purpose? C, a temporary lease agreement? Or D, a legal restriction on land use? The answer is B, a non-possessory right to use another's land for a specific purpose. Easements can be confused with ownership rights. An easement is a non-possessory right to use another's land for a specific purpose. A developer wants to build a road through a neighbor's property to access a new subdivision. What legal tool should they seek to obtain? Is it A, B, license? C, covenant? Or D, lease? The answer is A, easement. Easements can be confused with other land use rights. An easement allows the developer to use the neighbor's land for the road. What does metes and bounds mean? Is it A, a grid system for land division? B, a legal description using latitude and longitude? C, a method of land description using physical features and measurements? Or D, a system of zoning classifications? The answer is C, a method of land description using physical features and measurements. Meets and bounds can be confused with other survey methods. It describes land using physical features and measurements. A homeowner discovers that their property line is incorrectly recorded, affecting their neighbor's land. Which legal term describes the process to correct this? Is it A, eminent domain? B, adverse possession? C, zoning variance? Or D, quiet title? The answer is D, quiet title. Boundary disputes can involve various legal actions. A quiet title action resolves disputes over property boundaries. Which of the following best defines encroachment? Is it A, an unauthorized intrusion onto another's property? B, a legal agreement to share property boundaries? C, a temporary right to use another's land? Or D, a permanent right to use another's land? The answer is A, an unauthorized intrusion onto another's property. Encroachments can be mistaken for easements. An encroachment is an unauthorized intrusion onto another's property. A property owner is selling a piece of land and wants to ensure the boundaries are clearly defined using a method that references natural landmarks and measurements. Which method is the owner likely using? Is it A, lot and block? B, rectangular survey? C, meets and bounds? Or D, subdivision? The answer is C, meets and bounds. The terms meets and bounds and lot and block can be confused. Meets and bounds use natural landmarks and measurements. Lot and block refer to a plat map system. Which of the following best defines easement? Is it A, a right to use another's land for a specific purpose? B, full ownership of a piece of land? C, a temporary lease agreement? Or D, a legal claim to a property? The answer is A, a right to use another's land for a specific purpose. Easements can be confused with ownership rights. An easement is a right to use another's land for a specific purpose, not ownership. A developer is planning a new residential community and needs to divide the land into lots for sale. Which method will they most likely use to legally describe these parcels? Is it A, meets and bounds? B, lot and block? C, rectangular survey? Or D? The answer is B, lot and block. Lot and block and meets and bounds are both used in land description. Lot and block is specifically for subdividing land into lots. What does zoning mean? Is it A, a method of surveying land using natural landmarks? B, a legal right to use another's property? C, a system for recording property boundaries? Or D, regulations governing land use and development? The answer is D, regulations governing land use and development. Zoning can be confused with building codes. Zoning regulates land use and development, while building codes focus on construction standards. A homeowner discovers that a neighbor has built a fence that crosses onto their property. What legal concept might the homeowner need to address this issue? Is it A, encroachment? B, easement? C, zoning? Or D, subdivision? The answer is A, encroachment. Encroachment and easement can be confused. Encroachment refers to unauthorized intrusion onto another's property. Transfer of title. Which of the following best defines deed? Is it A, a contract for leasing property? B, a document that outlines property boundaries? C. A legal document that transfers ownership of property. Or D. A certificate of property insurance. The answer is C. A legal document that transfers ownership of property. Deed can be confused with other legal documents. A deed is a legal document that transfers ownership of property from one party to another. During a property sale, the buyer insists on receiving a quitclaim deed. What does this imply about the buyer's expectations? Is it A. The buyer expects a warranty on the title? B. The buyer accepts the property as is with no title guarantees? C. The buyer wants a detailed property survey? Or D. The buyer requires title insurance? The answer is B. The buyer accepts the property as is with no title guarantees. Quitclaim deed might be confused with other deeds. It implies the buyer expects no guarantees about the title status. What does title search mean? Is it A. A process to verify legal ownership and claims on a property? B. An inspection of the physical condition of a property? C. A negotiation of property sale terms? Or D. A review of property tax records? The answer is A. A process to verify legal ownership and claims on a property. Title search can be confused with other property checks. It is a process to verify the legal ownership and any claims on a property. If a property is sold with a warranty deed, what assurance does the buyer receive? Is it A. The property is free from physical defects? B. The property has no outstanding taxes? C. The seller will finance the purchase? Or D. The title is clear and the seller will defend against future claims? The answer is D. The title is clear and the seller will defend against future claims. Warranty deed might be confused with other deeds. It assures the buyer of clear title and protection against future claims. Which of the following best defines title insurance? Is it A. Insurance against property damage? B. Insurance against losses from title defects or disputes? C. Insurance for mortgage default? Or D. Insurance for natural disasters? The answer is B. Insurance against losses from title defects or disputes. Title insurance might be confused with other insurance types. It protects against losses from title defects or disputes. Which of the following best defines warranty deed? Is it A. A deed that transfers property without any guarantees? B. A deed that only guarantees the title against claims made by the grantor? C. A deed that guarantees the title against all claims? Or D. A deed that transfers property with a lien? The answer is C. A deed that guarantees the title against all claims. Warranty deeds are often confused with other deeds. A warranty deed provides the most comprehensive protection to the buyer, guaranteeing clear title. During a property sale, the buyer discovers an undisclosed easement on the land. Which type of deed would have protected the buyer from this issue? Is it A. Quitclaim deed? B. Warranty deed? C. Special warranty deed? Or D. Bargain and sale deed? The answer is B. Warranty deed. Easements can be overlooked. A warranty deed would protect against undisclosed encumbrances like easements. What does quitclaim deed mean? Is it A. A deed that transfers any interest the grantor may have without guarantees? B. A deed that guarantees clear title to the property? C. A deed that transfers property with a guarantee against all claims? Or D. A deed that transfers property with a guarantee against claims made by the grantor? The answer is A. A deed that transfers any interest the grantor may have without guarantees. Quitclaim deeds are often misunderstood. They transfer any interest the grantor may have without guarantees. A seller uses a bargain and sale deed to transfer property. What does this imply about the seller's assurances? Is it A, the seller guarantees the title against all claims? B, the seller provides no assurance of title? C, the seller guarantees the title only during their ownership? Or D, the seller implies ownership but offers no warranty? The answer is D. The seller implies ownership but offers no warranty. Bargain and sale deeds imply ownership but lack guarantees. They suggest the seller has title but offers no warranty. Which of the following best defines special warranty deed? Is it A, a deed that provides no guarantees of title? B, a deed that guarantees title only against claims during the grantor's ownership? C, a deed that guarantees title against all claims? Or D, a deed that implies ownership but offers no warranty? The answer is B, a deed that guarantees title only against claims during the grantor's ownership. Special warranty deeds are often confused with warranty deeds. They only cover issues during the grantor's ownership.
Don't forget to comment below with your tips, challenges, and thoughts on exam preparation. Your experiences can make a big difference for others.
Fair housing and ethics. Which of the following best defines blockbusting? Is it A, encouraging diverse communities to go incentives? B, inducing property sales by exploiting racial fears? C, refusing to sell property to certain racial groups? Or D, offering lower prices to minority buyers? The answer is B, inducing property sales by exploiting racial fears. Blockbusting is often confused with other discriminatory practices. It specifically involves inducing property sales by exploiting racial fears. A real estate agent tells a homeowner that their neighborhood's property values will decrease due to an influx of minority families, urging them to sell quickly. What unethical practice is this an example of? Is it A, blockbusting? B, redlining? C, staring? Or D, panic selling? The answer is A, blockbusting. The scenario involves fear tactics related to race, which is a hallmark of blockbusting. What does redlining mean? Is it A, directing buyers to certain neighborhoods? B, offering different loan terms based on credit? C, denying services based on neighborhood demographics? Or D, encouraging sales through racial fear tactics? The answer is C, denying services based on neighborhood demographics. Redlining is often confused with other forms of discrimination. It specifically refers to denying services based on location. A lender refuses to provide a mortgage to a qualified applicant because the property is in a predominantly minority neighborhood. What term describes this practice? Is it A, steering? B, blockbusting? C, panic selling? Or D, redlining? The answer is D, redlining. The scenario involves denial of services based on location, which is characteristic of redlining. Which of the following best defines steering? Is it A, directing clients to certain areas based on race? B, refusing to sell to certain racial groups? C, offering different prices based on race? Or D, inducing sales through racial fear tactics? The answer is A, directing clients to certain areas based on race. Steering is often confused with other discriminatory practices. It specifically involves directing clients based on race. Which of the following best defines blockbusting? Is it A, encouraging property sales by suggesting a rise in property values? B, restricting property sales to certain groups to maintain neighborhood stability? C, inducing property sales by suggesting demographic changes in the neighborhood? Or D, offering financial incentives to buyers from specific demographics? The answer is C, inducing property sales by suggesting demographic changes in the neighborhood. The term can be confused with other unethical real estate practices. Blockbusting involves inducing property sales by suggesting neighborhood demographic changes. A real estate agent tells a homeowner that their property value will decrease because a minority family is moving in next door. This is an example of which unethical practice? Is it A, steering, B, blockbusting, C, redlining, or D, panic selling? The answer is B, blockbusting. It involves recognizing the unethical nature of the agent's statement. This scenario describes blockbusting, where fear is used to prompt sales. What does redlining mean? Is it A, denying services based on the racial or ethnic composition of an area? B, directing clients to certain neighborhoods based on race? C, offering different loan terms based on credit score? Or D, encouraging sales by suggesting neighborhood changes? The answer is A, denying services based on the racial or ethnic composition of an area. It can be confused with other discriminatory practices. Redlining is the denial of services based on the racial or ethnic composition of an area. A lender refuses to provide a mortgage to a qualified applicant because the property is in a predominantly minority neighborhood. What is this practice called? Is it A, steering, B, blockbusting, C, panic selling, or D, redlining? The answer is D, redlining. It requires identifying the specific discriminatory practice. This scenario describes redlining, where services are denied based on location demographics. Which of the following best defines steering? Is it A, refusing to sell to certain groups based on race? B, directing clients to or away from certain areas based on race or ethnicity? C, offering different prices to different groups? Or D, encouraging sales by suggesting demographic changes? The answer is B, directing clients to or away from certain areas based on race or ethnicity. It can be confused with other forms of discrimination. Steering involves directing clients to or away from certain areas based on race or ethnicity.
Thanks for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, tips, and tricks. And don't forget to visit birdsy.ai for complimentary study sessions with Birdsy, your AI-powered study partner.